Urgent Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here, we bring you daily videos with the latest Pittsburgh Steelers updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Hey Steelers Nation, today we're diving into something that's been shaking the football world, especially here among the Steelers fans. Something that's been the talk of social media, the hot topic in NFL circles, and definitely a game-changer for our beloved team. It's about Mason Rudolph finally breaking his silence on the recent blockbuster trade involving none other than George Pickens. That's right, folks, the news came out of nowhere, and ever since it broke, fans have been buzzing with questions, speculations, and a mix of shock and curiosity. So, buckle up because we're about to unpack everything, from Rudolph's perspective, the team's strategy, and what this means for the Steelers moving forward. Now, before I get into the details, let's set the scene a little. The Steelers, as you all know, have been building something special over the past few seasons. We've seen flashes of brilliance from young stars, a solid defense, and a quarterback room that's been under the spotlight for quite some time. But recently, the trade of George Pickens, one of the most promising wide receivers on the team, caught everyone off guard. Fans were stunned, analysts were scratching their heads, and social media was flooded with opinions. Pickens, who's shown incredible potential since he joined the team, was seen as a future cornerstone of the Steelers' offense. So, naturally, his trade raised a lot of eyebrows. Now, finally, Mason Rudolph has stepped forward to share his thoughts, and it's giving us some interesting insights into what's really going on behind the scenes. Rudolph, in an exclusive interview, sat down to talk about the trade, and what he said was both revealing and telling about his mindset and the team's future plans. He emphasized how much he appreciates George Pickens and the impact he's had since arriving in Pittsburgh. Rudolph pointed out that Pickens brought a unique skill set to the team, combining size, speed, and great hands, making him a nightmare for opposing defenses. Mason highlighted that while losing a player like Pickens is never easy, the team's focus is on building a roster that can compete at the highest level, and sometimes that involves tough decisions. He stressed that every player on the roster is vital, and that the Steelers are always looking ahead, trying to balance short-term success with long-term stability. This perspective from Rudolph is important because it shows a level of maturity and understanding. He's not just a backup quarterback anymore, he's a leader on this team, and his words carry weight. Mason openly acknowledged that losing Pickens will be a challenge, especially in terms of chemistry and the offensive dynamic. But he also expressed confidence in the remaining weapons and the young talent that's rising through the ranks. Rudolph mentioned that he's been working closely with the receivers in practice, trying to develop new chemistry and adapting to the changes in the team's offensive scheme. It's clear he's taking this situation seriously and understands the responsibility on his shoulders to lead the Steelers through this transition. At this point, fans are eager to see how Rudolph will handle the pressure. The spotlight is now even brighter on him, especially with the team's offense potentially shifting. Will he step up and prove that he can be the leader Steelers fans have been waiting for? That's the big question. Rudolph has had his moments, both highs and lows, but this season could be the defining one for him. The fact that he's speaking out now, showing a level of confidence and maturity, suggests he's ready to take on that challenge. And we all know that with the Steelers, resilience is part of the DNA. But let's not forget what this trade really means for the team's strategy. The Steelers have always been known for their strong defense and a balanced offensive attack. Recently, the focus has been on developing a more dynamic passing game, with Pickens being a key piece in that puzzle. His ability to stretch the field and make tough catches made him a favorite among fans. His chemistry with the quarterback, whether it's Rudolph or the eventual starter, was something coaches were counting on. So, trading him away raises questions about what the team is planning next. Are they betting on the other receivers to step up? Is there a new offensive scheme in the works? Or perhaps, they're looking to acquire even more talent to fill the gap. The general consensus among analysts is that this move is part of a broader strategy to reconfigure the offense and make it more versatile and unpredictable, This decision also reflects the Steelers' long-term vision. The front office has always been strategic in roster moves, balancing veteran experience with youth. The release or trade of a promising player like Pickens might seem risky, but it's often done with a clear plan in mind. The team's management believes in their scouting and development systems, and they're confident that the players stepping into new roles can rise to the occasion. For the fans, it's sometimes hard to accept these changes, especially when they involve fan favorites. But history shows us that the Steelers are no strangers to making bold moves. Think back to some of their most successful eras. They often made tough decisions that ultimately paid off. Now, looking ahead, the spotlight shifts to the remaining wide receivers, the offensive line, and of course, Mason Rudolph himself. How will he handle the increased pressure? Can he lead the team through this transitional phase and keep the Steelers on a winning track? These are the questions everyone is asking. Rudolph has shown flashes of potential, but consistency has been elusive for him so far. This season, with the added responsibility, could be his defining moment. The coaching staff has expressed confidence in him, and he's working hard to improve every aspect of his game. The fans are behind him, but they're also watching every move, every pass, every decision with high expectations. Meanwhile, George Pickens is preparing himself for a new chapter. The trade means he's leaving behind the Steel City, but it also opens doors for him to showcase his talent in a different environment. His new team is counting on him to be a game-changer, and he's aware of the opportunity he's been given. Fans of the Steelers might feel a mix of nostalgia and disappointment, but they're also proud of what Pickens brought to Pittsburgh. His highlight reel is full of spectacular catches, clutch plays, and moments that will be remembered for years to come. Now, they'll have to get used to seeing him in a new jersey, and that's always a bit strange at first. What does this mean for the Steelers season? Well, it's still early, and there's a lot of football left to play. But one thing is clear, the team is in a transitional phase, and every game will count even more. The coaching staff has emphasized that they're confident in their game plan and the players' ability to adapt. The defense remains a stronghold, led by stars like T.J. Watt and Minkah Fitzpatrick, but the offense will need to find new chemistry. The offensive line will play a crucial role in protecting Rudolph and opening running lanes. The running game, which has been solid but not spectacular, will also need to step up to take some pressure off the passing attack. And speaking of the season, let's take a quick look at how the Steelers have been performing so far. They've shown flashes of brilliance, especially in tough games where their defense has kept opposing offenses in check. The team's record is decent, but everyone knows that consistency is key if they want to make a real push into the playoffs. The AFC North Division has been competitive as always, with the Ravens and Bengals also fighting for supremacy. The Steelers' ability to adapt to these roster changes and keep their focus on team cohesion will determine how far they can go. Now, let's talk about some individual stats. Mason Rudolph, so far, has thrown for over 200 yards this season, with 5 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Not eye-popping numbers, but enough to show he's capable of leading the team when given the right support. His completion percentage is around 62%, which isn't elite but shows steady progress. The receivers, aside from Pickens, have been doing their part as well. Deontay Johnson continues to be a reliable target, with over 600 yards receiving and a couple of touchdowns. Pat Freiermuth has been a bright spot in the tight end position, providing Rudolph with a dependable safety valve. The running backs, Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren, have been effective in moving the chains, combining for around 800 rushing yards so far. The offensive line, despite some injuries, has been resilient in protecting their QB and opening lanes for the ground game. But, of course, the biggest story remains the wide receiver room and how it's adjusting to the absence of Pickens. The team has been testing different combinations in practice, trying to find that perfect chemistry. It's a challenge, but the Steelers are known for their resilience and adaptability. The coaching staff, led by Mike Tomlin, has always emphasized the importance of next man up mentality, and now they're putting that philosophy into action. The next few games will be crucial in establishing new offensive identities and seeing how well the team can rally around Rudolph and the remaining playmakers. And let's not forget the fans. Steelers fans are some of the most passionate in the NFL, and they're notorious for their loyalty, even in tough times. The reactions to the trade have been mixed. Some fans are disappointed, feeling like they've lost a future star in Pickens. Others understand the bigger picture, trusting that the front office has a plan. Social media has been flooded with opinions, memes, and heartfelt messages. Some fans are already looking forward to seeing how the team responds in the upcoming games, while others are expressing hope that this is just a temporary setback on the road to another Super Bowl run. Looking at the bigger picture, this move also sparks a lot of debate about the Steelers' long-term strategy. Are they building for sustained success or making quick fixes? The franchise has always had a reputation for strong drafting, solid roster management, and a focus on team culture. This trade might just be a part of that overall plan, aiming to create a more balanced and adaptable roster. The Steelers have a history of bouncing back from adversity, and this situation is no different. The coaching staff, led by Mike Tomlin, is known for turning challenges into opportunities, and this season will be a true test of their leadership and planning. As we look ahead, the schedule remains tough. The Steelers face some key division rivals, including the Ravens and Bengals, along with some challenging non-divisional opponents. Every game will be a battle, and the team's ability to gel without Pickens will be under scrutiny. Fans are hoping that Rudolph, with his growing experience and leadership, can keep the offense moving and help the team stay competitive. The defense, as always, will be a backbone, but the offense needs to produce more consistently if the Steelers want to stay in the playoff hunt. In the end, what we're witnessing is a team in transition, trying to find its identity amid changing circumstances. It's a story that's been played out many times in Steelers history: resilience, strategic moves, and a fighting spirit. Whether this trade will turn out to be a brilliant move or a misstep remains to be seen. But what's certain is that Steelers Nation is more invested than ever, watching every play, every decision, and every moment that could define this season. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Rudolph can lead this team to greatness? Are you disappointed with the trade of Pickens, or do you see it as a smart move for the future? Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, analysis, and behind-the-scenes insights into everything happening around the team. Stay tuned, because the season is just heating up, and there's so much more to come. Thanks for being part of this journey, and as always, go Steelers!